What if the universe began not with emptiness but with an egg, a fragile shell floating in chaos, containing everything that would ever be: time, space, gods, and humanity? Across cultures, the egg appears as the womb of the cosmos, the seed of existence, the container of potential. It is both small and infinite, fragile and eternal. The egg is one of humanity's oldest and most universal symbols of creation. Welcome to Unmasking the Gods, lifting the veil on religion, power, and myth. In this episode, we journey into the myths of the cosmic egg, the sacred symbol that carried the universe within itself. From India to Greece, from Egypt to China, people told stories of creation not beginning with nothing, but with something small, complete, and alive. In the ancient hymns of India, creation began with the Hiranyagarbha, the golden egg. Floating upon the waters of chaos, it shone with radiant light. From it emerged the first being, the source of gods, men, and worlds. Later myths told of Vishnu resting upon the endless cosmic ocean, from whose navel a lotus grew. Within the lotus appeared Brahma, the creator who formed heaven, earth, and everything between. But before the lotus, before Brahma, there was the egg, golden, perfect, unbroken. The Greeks told a similar story in their Orphic tradition. At the dawn of time, there was Chronos, time, and Ananke, necessity. Together they fashioned a silver egg spinning in the void. From the egg hatched Phanes, the god of light, radiant with wings of gold. Phanes carried within himself the seeds of gods and men, unfolding the cosmos with his brightness. For the Greeks, the egg was not mere shell, but the womb of divinity itself, containing the light of creation. In Egypt, creation too was pictured through an egg. Some traditions told of a cosmic goose, the great cackler, who laid the egg from which Ra, the sun god, was born. Others spoke of a lotus that rose from the primeval waters, opening to reveal the child Ra within. Whether goose or lotus, egg or flower, the message was the same. Life emerges from the closed, hidden womb, bursting into light. Creation was not emptiness made full, but fullness released. China's creation story echoes the same pattern. In the beginning was chaos, swirling without form, contained in a great cosmic egg. For thousands of years the egg grew until it finally cracked. From it emerged Pangu, the primal being. As he stretched, the shell broke apart. The light fragments rose to form the heavens. The heavy ones sank to form the earth. Pangu stood between them, holding sky and ground apart. When he died, his body became mountains, rivers, and forests, the world itself. But all began in the egg. Even the Norse, who usually spoke of frost and fire, carried traces of egg cosmology. Some sagas described Ymir, the first giant, forming from the mingling of ice and flame, his skull later becoming the sky. Others compared this skull to an eggshell, enclosing the world. Though less explicit, the image lingers. Creation as hatching, the world as something enclosed and then opened. Why the egg? Because it was the most natural symbol of life. To ancient eyes, the egg was a mystery, lifeless, motionless, yet containing the power to hatch a bird, a serpent, or even the radiant sun. It was the perfect symbol of potential, of unity containing multiplicity, of hidden life awaiting birth. To imagine the cosmos as an egg was to recognize that existence itself is alive, gestating, waiting to be born. The cosmic egg also solved a deep question. If the universe began, what was before? Myths answered, before was enclosure, containment, unity. In the egg, opposites had not yet separated, light and dark, sky and earth, male and female. The egg was wholeness, but it could not stay closed. Creation always came through cracking, breaking, opening. The shell was shattered so that the cosmos could live. In every culture, the egg held this same duality, fragile yet infinite, closed yet bursting. In India, it was golden light. In Greece, a shining silver shell. In Egypt, a goose egg or lotus pod. In China, a sphere of chaos. The details differ, but the meaning remains. The egg is the beginning. The womb of eternity. The cosmic egg was more than a beginning. It was a map. Ancient people saw in its shape a miniature cosmos, a living diagram of the universe itself. The shell represented the heavens, enclosing all things. The yolk at the center was the earth, warm and radiant. The egg white was the waters or air that surrounded the world. To imagine the egg was to imagine existence itself, layered, ordered, and alive. Birds became natural symbols of this cosmic truth. Geese, ducks, swans, and even mythical phoenixes were said to lay the egg of creation. In Egypt, the great cackler goose gave birth to Ra. In Vedic lore, the swan, Hamsa, glided upon the cosmic waters, bearer of the golden egg. The phoenix of later myth carried the same meaning: rebirth through fire and egg, a cycle of death and renewal. The bird that lays the cosmic egg is not just an animal, it is the eternal principle of life giving life. In the Norse imagination, Ymir's skull, stretched across the heavens, became a kind of eggshell enclosing the world. Though not described explicitly as an egg, the imagery is strikingly similar. The world contained within a shell, cracked open from primal unity into light and land. The Norse saw creation not as empty void, but as enclosure opened, a living egg-like cosmos. The skull, like the egg, symbolized the unity that must break for life to begin. Japanese myth also tells of the universe as an egg. At first, heaven and earth were mingled together in a shapeless mass. Slowly, the lighter, purer elements rose to form the sky, while the heavier, impure ones sank to form the earth. This separation was imagined as the cracking of a primordial egg. The pattern repeats. The cosmos was once contained, unified, enclosed until division made the world possible. Even in traditions where eggs are not central, their symbolism lingers. In Celtic and Druidic lore, the serpent's egg was believed to hold magical power, a sphere of life and wisdom. In alchemical writings, the philosophical egg contained the mystery of transformation. Always the egg represented a totality that held life within, a vessel of mystery, a container of potential. The egg also carried practical sacredness. Archaeologists have found eggs placed in ancient graves from Greece to China. Why? Because the egg symbolized life beyond death. To bury someone with an egg was to declare that death is not the end, but a seed awaiting hatching. The egg was resurrection in miniature, the hope that the soul would rise again. This universal image made the egg a kind of axis mundi, a world axis in microcosm. Just as the cosmic tree or mountain connected heaven, earth, and underworld, so the egg contained them all within itself. The shell was heaven, the yolk earth, the white, the waters below. The egg needed no ladder, no summit. It was itself the whole. It did not connect the worlds, it contained them. The egg therefore became more than a symbol of creation. It became a pattern of existence. Unity gives way to duality. Duality expands into multiplicity. Multiplicity seeks to return to unity. The egg contains, breaks, and renews. Every cycle of life mirrors the cosmic egg. Contained, cracked, born anew. If the cosmic egg symbolized the beginning of the world, it also became a sign of beginnings after endings. Across cultures, eggs were not just placed at the dawn of time, but at the thresholds of life, death, and resurrection. The egg carried within it the promise that even when all seemed broken, life could emerge anew. In ancient Greece, eggs were placed in tombs as offerings to the dead. Archaeologists have uncovered shells painted red, tucked beside the remains of the departed. To bury someone with an egg was to declare that death itself was only a shell, fragile, temporary, destined to break so that something greater could emerge. The egg was a silent prophecy of resurrection. The same symbolism carried forward into Christianity. The Easter egg, today a simple decoration or children's custom, began as a profound theological image. Painted red to symbolize the blood of Christ, the egg represented the sealed tomb. To crack it open at Easter was to reenact the resurrection. The stone rolled away, life bursting forth from death. What began as cosmic myth became a ritual of hope, celebrated each spring. In Slavic cultures, eggs decorated with intricate designs, called pisanki, were believed to carry protective power. They were exchanged during festivals as symbols of fertility, life, and renewal. In these practices, the egg was not abstract philosophy but living tradition. It passed from hand to hand as a promise. Life continues, the cycle endures, hope remains unbroken. The egg's power was also recognized in alchemy. Alchemists spoke of the philosophical egg, a vessel in which the work of transformation occurred. Inside this symbolic egg, substances were purified, broken down, and reborn as something new. The egg contained fire, chaos, and death, but also the seed of gold, immortality, and renewal. To the alchemist, as to the mythmaker, the egg was both tomb and womb. The Ouroboros, the serpent biting its own tail, was often drawn encircling the cosmic egg. This image united two primal symbols, serpent and egg, chaos and cosmos, death and rebirth. The serpent represented eternity, endless cycles, destruction and renewal. The egg was the seed of life. Together, they declared that existence itself is an eternal cycle of endings and beginnings. The egg's presence in funeral rites stretched across the world. In China, eggs were placed with the dead as a sign of rebirth in the afterlife. In prehistoric Europe, shells were buried alongside bones. In Persian traditions, eggs featured in the spring festival of Nowruz, marking both the renewal of the year and the hope of immortality. Always the meaning was the same. The egg is life, waiting to be born again. The egg also embodied fertility and the rhythms of nature. Birds lay eggs in spring. At the same time, crops emerge and animals give birth. For agrarian societies, the egg became a seasonal promise. Winter ends, life returns, cycles renew. Festivals around the equinox often included eggs, not as food alone but as sacred offerings to ensure fertility and abundance. In this way, the egg became a bridge between the cosmic and the personal. It was the universe itself at the beginning of time, but also the seed of each year's rebirth, each person's resurrection, each new generation's hope. The egg was as vast as the cosmos and as intimate as the nest in a tree. What makes the egg so powerful as a symbol is its simplicity. It is fragile, yet it contains life. It is sealed, yet destined to break. It is empty when eaten, yet full when alive. It is ordinary, yet universal. The egg became a sacred paradox, carrying within it the entire philosophy of death and rebirth. The myths of the cosmic egg were never only stories about beginnings. They were reflections on the deepest mysteries of existence. Philosophers, mystics, and later psychologists found in the egg a symbol that could explain not only the cosmos, but the human soul itself. The egg was not only the shell of the universe, but the symbol of our own inner potential, waiting to hatch. The earliest philosopher to declare water as the first principle was Thales of Miletus, but others suggested the egg as the truest image of unity. It contained multiplicity within oneness. The shell was enclosure, the yolk the heart, the white, the surrounding chaos. To meditate on the egg was to meditate on wholeness, how the one becomes many, how potential becomes actual, how unity becomes creation. In Gnostic traditions, the egg symbolized the entrapment of the soul in matter. To crack the shell was to achieve liberation, to awaken the divine spark within. Here, the egg was no longer simply about the birth of the cosmos, but about the rebirth of the spirit. Each soul was an egg, waiting to hatch into its higher form. Alchemy carried this meaning forward. The philosophical egg was the container of the opus magnum, the great work of transformation. Within it, substances were broken down, purified, and remade. Just as the cosmic egg birthed the universe, the alchemical egg birthed enlightenment. The process mirrored myth: destruction of the shell, revelation of what lay within, birth of the eternal. Modern psychology rediscovered these truths in its own way. Carl Jung saw the egg as an archetype of the self, the wholeness that unites conscious and unconscious. To dream of eggs was to glimpse the psyche's potential, the unhatched life within us. Just as creation myths began with an egg, so too did individuation, the process of becoming whole, Begin with recognizing the seed within. Even science has echoed the myth. Cosmologists have referred to the cosmic egg as a metaphor for the Big Bang, the dense singularity that contained the universe before it expanded. Once again, the intuition of ancient myth, that everything began enclosed, then cracked open, resonates with modern discovery. The egg, fragile and timeless, continues to be the language of origins. The egg's meaning is simple yet profound. It is unity before division. It is potential before actuality. It is womb and tomb, beginning and end. Every myth that spoke of an egg spoke of hope, that life can emerge from stillness, that the cosmos can be born from silence, that eternity begins with something as small as a shell. The cosmic egg is one of humanity's most enduring images. From India's golden Hiranyagarbha to Greece's Orphic silver shell, from Egypt's goose egg to China's egg of chaos, the story repeats: life was enclosed, hidden, waiting to break forth. The egg was the seed of the cosmos, the womb of eternity, the first home of gods and men. But the egg is more than myth. It is also mirror. Each of us is an egg, containing unhatched potential, carrying within us worlds unseen. To live is to grow toward the moment when the shell must crack, when what is hidden must emerge. The egg is not only the cosmos, it is us. So when we look at an egg, fragile, ordinary, small, we are seeing the whole mystery of existence: unity and division, chaos and cosmos, death and rebirth. The entire story of creation rests within its curve. The egg whispers the truth that beginnings are never far away. Thank you for watching Unmasking the Gods, lifting the veil on religion, power, and myth. If this journey into the cosmic egg inspired you, please like, subscribe, and share so others can discover the myths that shaped humanity's vision of the universe. And remember, just as the cosmos was once an egg waiting to hatch, so too are we, carrying within us the promise of new creation.